Scotland scorer Billy McKinlay because of injury, while 16-goal Craig Brewster was suspended. And that meant places for Gary Boland and Christian Daly. The referee was Jim McCluskey from Stewarton, summariser Gordon McQueen, commentator Jerry McNee.
Dundee United start the 4th Premier League meeting of the season between these clubs. It's 3 points apiece so far. Overall, it's the 76th meeting in the Premier Division. And already Rangers getting into some difficulty. David Robertson are struggling a bit. Of course, Dundee United made the most sensational of starts last time they were here. Dave Bowman scoring 30 seconds. There he is. And he'll be hoping to achieve something for United this afternoon. But United's record not good against Rangers in the Premier Division. Rangers have won 36 so far. United just 15, and 24 of the matches have been drawn. And United, in fact, the last team to beat Rangers way back in December with the 3-0 victory here. Rangers have since gone 21 games without defeat. And this is Bowman. And McPherson climbing above Daly. It's away by Trevor Stephen. It's Cleland. Robertson's header. Robertson again. Through for McCoy. Small passes with him. And the United skipper does well. It's Goff climbing above Daly. This is Hannah for United. So it's Petric who launches a high one forward looking for the head of Christian Daly, but a little push there by Daly on Goff. It's through by Robertson. That's a good ball. Van de Kamp comes to meet McCoist. And the goalkeeper had to come rushing from his line there. Superb long ball played through. Dropping in just behind the defence. Into the path of McCoist.
It's a fantastic ball here from Davy Robertson. Looks up, pings a great left-footed ball. McCoist gets his right foot onto it, but Van de Kamp comes out and blocks that with his left hand.
It's Trevor Stephen taking the return from Goff. Away by Cleland. It's Goff again. Stephen. Left by Ferguson. Played through by McCall. Haitley. McCoist claims that McCoist used an arm there. Play on to the referee. It's Trevor Stephen. He's blocked by Petric. Still Rangers have it. A touch there by McCoist to Ferguson. Now it's McCall to McPherson. Through for Haitley. Robertson didn't realise Christian Daly was there. He did. And he got in the shot, and that one quite reminiscent of the effort last week. He simply strikes it so well with his left foot.
Well, certainly in the mood, Rangers in this early stages of the game, and Robertson really whacks that one. He's made a bright start to the game with that terrific through ball for Alan McCoist, and a thumping shot there.
Brown's header takes the return from Goff. It's another poor one by John Brown. That's the second time he's played it straight to Petric. It's Andy McLaren. Bowman's wide. Bowman onto the left foot. Takes the return from McLaren. Not a bad effort. Bowman linking with McLaren and bringing out the save from Ali Maxwell.
Yeah, it was a nice little 1-2. Davy Bowman plays here with McLaren, and Dundee United beginning to claw their way back into the game after a very poor start. But plays a nice little 1-2 here. And a nice shot as well, but Maxwell saves it comfortably.
Goff trying to get forward, blocked by McAnally. Brown nips in just ahead of McLaren. Now it's Ferguson for Rangers. Robertson. Past the sun breaking through. It's Robertson's header. Touch on there by Jury to Haitley. McPherson's a lot of space out on the right. And he looks over the challenge of Gordon Petric. Good play by McPherson. Delivers across. Haitley's there. And it goes behind for the goal kick. Great running though by David McPherson on the right, and not for the first time in this opening 45 minutes. A big gap opening on the right-hand side.
Well, it was Hateley that started this with that good cross out to David McPherson. He just nips past Petrick, who lunges in, looks up, and Mark Hateley nearly getting on the end of this one. He started the move and nearly tried to finish it off there.
McAnally with McCall. McCall wins it. Hannah did well against Ferguson, but now Brown switches the play out to McPherson. Trevor Stephen. To get in one of these quality crosses. It's away by McAnally. It's McCall. Good play by McCall to create the opening. Away by Petrick. Only as far as Jury. Richard Goff goes forward now, but it's switched out towards McCall. Well, some fierce challenges going on.
Yeah, Rangers are putting an awful lot of good crosses into the Dundee United box, but defensively Dundee United have handled them very.
This is Goff. Stephen. Goes down by Boland. McAnally's in there digging as well. Breaks away to Ian Ferguson. This is McCall. Out towards Hateley. He gets a touch. It's away by Boland. Through into Rangers. Rangers lifting the pace again. McPherson's cross. Hateley's header. Tremendous leap by Mark Hateley.
Well, McPherson's playing more like a right winger in this first half. He's been finding acres of space over there. Once again, he puts in another cross and finds the head of Mark Hateley with a diving header that just drifts by Van der Kamp's left-hand post.
This is McCall being chased by Daly. Little backheel flick to Trevor Stephen. Good play by Rangers, but cut out by Petrick. This is Boland for United. Person makes the challenge on McLaren. It's a tough old afternoon out there. And the referee taking the name of the United forward. I can only imagine that he feels the player made a bit of a meal of that.
Well, it's very difficult to see from here, but David McPherson certainly lunges in a bit, and I think he... Well, did he catch David McPherson's foot?
Yeah, I think he seemed to kick at him there as they were on the ground. It's perhaps for that. There's Hateley climbing now. And behind for the goal kick.
Well, once again, another Hateley header. He's had about half a dozen in this first half, but failed to find the target, although he's well pleased there by Brian Welsh, who done enough just to put him off.
Goes for a high boot against Hannah. He will play on. This is Petrick for United. Through to Daly. And that's Robertson. McCoist. And Hateley it was who got in there, put the balls behind for the goal kick.
Well, it's usually the other way around here. It's Hateley for McCoist, but this time it's McCoist with the header. Knocks it down a little backward header for Hateley and just can't find the target.
Hateley as ever, fighting to the whistle. But, here's McAnally now for United. Goes down by Ferguson. Trevor Stevens in there as well. It's Rangers throw. And a huge ovation from the crowd. There goes the half-time whistle. A very determined performance from Rangers. But the half-time score here at Ibrox, Rangers 0, Dundee United 0. The second half. In front of this huge crowd here at Ibrox, about 43,000 for the last meeting of the clubs, and again today well over 40,000 inside the stadium. United have made a change. Jaron Nixon has come on for Andy McLaren. And he's wearing his gloves out there on the 23rd of April. I wonder what Tiger Shaw would have made of that.
Well, Nixon's wearing his gloves on a lovely sunny day. He'll end up playing with a duffel coat on in the winter. But once again here, it's a long throw in from Davy Robertson. It was evident a few times in the first half. They hate the flick on in the McCoy's header.
This is Duray for Rangers. And he forces the early corner. Welland looking angrily towards the referee.
Well, they're certainly getting plenty of corner kicks, Rangers, but this second half I'd hope to see Dundee United open up a bit, because in the first half for me they were a terrible disappointment. It's not as if they're relegation candidates or even going to qualify for a European spot through the league.
This is Trevor Stephen. It's away by Petric. Ferguson did just enough to get the ball to Trevor Stephen. It's away by Boland, a touch by Petric. This is McInally. Looking for Nixon. John Brown, who had a real tussle in the first half with McLaren. Left trailing there, and it's Christian Daly, and it's a goal for Dundee United. A tremendous burst of pace by Jaron Nixon on the left, leaving John Brown in his wake, and Christian Daly picks up his third goal of the season after 47 minutes.
Well, what a substitution this has turned out to be. Terrific pace here for Nixon. Gets the ball before Brown, cuts inside him, lays it across. Daly's made ground. 1-0 to Dundee United. Well worked goal. Great play by Nixon.
Well, gloves or no gloves, Jaron Nixon makes an incredible impact. We were just saying that John Brown had been involved in a few tussles with Andy McLaren in the first half. Well, now he has a different challenge on his hands, and Rangers are trailing by a goal to nil. Here's Robertson. Can they get it back? And the ball just beyond McCoy's and Hitley.
Well, this looked a certain equaliser here. Jury lays it off to Robertson. Robertson whips in a great cross, and both Haitley and McCoy's missed that one.
Well, I just wonder if Jaron Nixon has maybe booked himself a place in the Scottish Cup final. That's Hendon towards Haitley. McCoist.
Well, good bit of play again with Rangers. McCall finds Haitley at the back post. Haitley with the knockdown, great leap. McCoist with his back to goal tries to loop that one over Van der Kamp, but just over the crossbar. It was good play again. Good ball to the back post for McCoist. Haitley well above Welsh here. As you see, McCoist with his back to goal tries a right foot shot, but just over the crossbar.
Trevor Stephen. It's a free kick against Gary Boland. This is Brown. Jury. Tees it up for Ferguson. Oh, that's a marvellous save by the goalkeeper. But tremendous handling by Guido van der Kamp, and a marvellous shot by Ian Ferguson.
Yeah, well, it's a Jury layoff. I mean, Ferguson's been really thumping from these situations. It's a really good right foot shot, but Van der Kamp does well to save it and hold it.
This is Cleland. Nixon. Christian Daly, another chance here, down he goes. The referee waves play on. Well, Christian Daly appeals, he can't believe it. Challenge there by David McPherson. And the referee immediately waved play on. Daly certainly seemed to have a strong case. He was through in front of the defender. Here he comes again. Takes on Goff. Goff gets the touch up.
Yeah, I think maybe Rangers are a little bit fortunate to get away with this one. It's nice playing the wide areas here. The ball eventually gets knocked in, lands at Nixon. Nice little flick over the top of McPherson's head. Daly boring in goals, and I don't think there's any question about it. That was a penalty kick for Dundee United for a McPherson foul in Daly.
Gately's header. This is Jury. Good ball by Jury for Robertson. And taken at his near post by Guido van de Kamp.
Well, certainly David Robertson bombing forward as often as he can in this second half, trying to get the equaliser, and gets the end of that one. But once again, Van de Kamp saves, although it was going past the post.
This is Jury. Stepping away from Malpass. And Van de Kamp does well.
Yeah, it's good play with Jury. Comes inside Malpass there and sends over the left foot cross, and brave goalkeeping with Van de Kamp, just keeps his eye on the ball and smothers that one.
Daly stepping away now from Richard Goff. Lovely touch there to get away from the Rangers skipper, but it's Ian Ferguson back helping out defence. Hannah though finds McInally. This is Welsh. Bowman's away on the right hand side. Welsh cutting across to the left to Hannah. This is McInally. Malpass comes out of defence. Daly. This is Bowman. Malpass. Nixon. Rangers all over the place here. Still it's Nixon. Stepping away from Trevor Stephen. Just didn't get enough power into the shot, but really Walter Smith must be cringing at the moment when looking at his defence, and in the space of the last few moments, both Christian Daly and Gerard Nixon leaving Rangers players trailing in their wake.
It was tremendous possession play with Dundee United there. They must have strung 15, 16 passes together before Nixon eventually had that shot.
That's Haitley swinging it across. It's Jury's header! It's a fine goal! Well, that's a perfect answer. 64 minutes gone. Jury gets his 12th goal of the season, and it all looked so simple in the end. There's certainly relief as well as joy for those Rangers fans, but he put it away with great style, and he certainly has been a player who's been working extremely hard for Rangers throughout this match.
Well, you just felt that Rangers had put that many crosses into the Dundee United box that a Rangers player was going to get his head to winning them, and that's eventually what happened with the Haitley cross there, and a very good header by Gordon Jury.
This is McInally, Cleland, Bowman, McInally, Bowman again, goes down by McCall. He's caught by McCall now, it's Haitley. McCoist is racing through the middle. Here's Ali McCoist! And from 3 yards out, the ball goes high over the target. Dundee United getting themselves into a real finkle there, and Haitley providing the cross.
It was great hustling play by Stuart McCall. Of course, Haitley pounced on it, and when he whipped that one across, I mean, it's great play with McCall here. Hustles Bowman into making a mistake. Haitley fires it across the goal, and Ali McCoy stretched a bit, just fails to keep it down and into the back of the net. It's good stuff.
Straight to Malpass, who holds off the challenge of Haitley. Now it's Boland. Looks away to McInally. Nixon. Hannah. Back to Welsh. Ball's header. It's a slack pass by Malpass. This is McCoist. And right across the face of goal, well, McCoist claiming it was held. It all began by a mistake there from Malpass.
Yeah, McCoist pounces on. I think there's a bit of push and shove here. What Alan McCoist is saying to the referee, that Malpass is filming him, holding his arm, which he may well have been doing there. McCoist gets a left foot shot and just sneaks past the post. As you can see here, when McCoist pounces on it, Malpass holds him, gets his arm round McCoist. No question he's holding him there, and probably does enough to get McCoist off hitting the target.
That's Hitley getting the touch. Petric is there. This is McPherson. Stephen. Ian Ferguson. Brown. Through for Jury. So Stephen clips it forward. Hitley's header. Jury! 2-1 to Rangers with 78 minutes gone, and the head of Gordon Jury again for Rangers. And Jury taking part all the way through that particular move. Walter Smith will be a happier man now. It was Jury who was in at the heart of it. The long ball played through. Hitley's header, and thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll just let the equaliser. Once again, it's the ball to the back post. This time it's a Hitley knockdown, and Jury, well, couldn't miss that one, could he?
Closer to the 6th consecutive championship. They know they can clinch it within the next 7 days. There's a little bit Jerry Nixon to contend with here. And he takes on John Brown again. It's through now for Bowman. Petric is well forward. Gordon Petric scored his first goal for United last week, and he was well up for this one.
Yeah, well, it's a terrific cross for Bowman, and I mean, this is a great chance for Petric. Good leap, but miles off target. You're looking for him to trouble Maxwell in that situation, but certainly this second half, came to life. It's been first class after the first half was somewhat dull.
There's Ferguson, bouncing upwardly, but he manages to pick out Hitley. McCoist in the middle. It's cut out by Malpass. Hitley trying to play it into the feet of McCoist, but Malpass, very seasoned campaigner, cuts it out without any fuss. The referee checks his watch, and there goes the final whistle. Rangers edge ever closer to that 6th consecutive championship, and there's a man whose 2 second-half goals made the difference. But it was United who opened the scoring after 47 minutes. Tremendous pace by Jerry Nixon on the left, getting away from John Brown. And there was Christian Daly to finish off. But Gordon Jury stepped in then. It was Hitley who was the provider on both occasions. After 64 minutes, he swung over the high cross, and Jury powered the ball into the back of the net with his head. And in 78 minutes, Jury again. Hitley this time sending the ball across from the left, and there was Jury with the easiest of chances. The full-time score at Ibrox, Rangers 2, Dundee United 1.
There were 2 yellow cards for Rangers, 4 for United. Almost 45,000 watched it. Afterwards, Jerry spoke to Walter Smith, but first to Gordon Jury.
Rangers put a lot of effort into the first half. United took the lead. It was really only after that Rangers really started to play, wasn't it?
Yeah, as I say, it was a bit cagey first half, and then the boy Nixon had a great run, and boy finished it off well. But I think that shows the character of the club. We got a goal down, and things weren't really going well for us, but we dug in and we got the 2 goals in the end.
And Mark Hitley, who's scored 30 himself this season, very much the provider for you today.
No, that's right, for a change. Yeah, the big man's really been doing it all season, scoring and creating, and again today created the 2 for me. The second one was my kind of distance, especially after the Aberdeen game.
Walter, your overall thoughts on the performance?
I was pleased the manner in which we came back in the game. I felt the first half was fairly even. with us, you know, maybe having most of the territorial advantage without creating a great deal. It was disappointing to lose a goal just after half-time, where we got caught in the break after, you know, a corner kick for us. But I was very pleased with the way we came back in the game. Always takes a little bit of time to settle down after you lose a goal like that. You know, and we came back after that and created quite a few chances to score and 2 good goals. So I was very pleased with the way the players responded to going 1 down.
With the cup final coming up, I know it's a few weeks away yet. Did United give you any further food for thought today in terms of the pace of Nixon and Daly?
No, I don't think so. You're always aware of that threat. It's part and parcel of the team. They are a team who sit back and try and use that pace of the players that they've got up front. You've always got to bear it. That's their biggest threat. That's why it was a bit disappointing to get caught out like that, because it was something that we were aware of.
Did you say food for thought, Jerry?
I think so.
Any pointers towards the cup final, do you think?
Well, I think the pace of Jerry Nixon, certainly that will be a problem for Rangers. He may well have played himself into the cup final lineup. United were unfortunate not to take something from this game, especially over the penalty incident. We'll look at that again in a minute. Rangers were the most aggressive side in the first half. But look at the pace of this man here. John Brown obviously pulls out of it. He knows if he pulls him down, he could be sent off perhaps. But a tremendous burst of pace here.
Well, I think certainly even Golats would be thinking about playing this lad in the cup final, because obviously he troubled Rangers, certainly with his pace and his close control, and he was a breath of fresh air when he came on yesterday. Here's another lovely bit of action coming on across the front of 2 players, and obviously his pace is a huge asset, particularly the way Dundee United play. They like to get plenty of players behind the ball and like to hit you in the break, but to play that kind of system you need pacey players up front, and they've certainly got one in Jerry Nixon.
Jerry mentioned the United penalty incident, Gordon. What did you make of it?
That was a penalty. I don't think there's any question about it whatsoever. I'm surprised that the referee Jim McCluskey missing it. As you see here, when the ball comes in, it's a nice little flick by Jerry Nixon. Daly born in and goal, penalty kick, and could have been an order enough offence for David McPherson as well. You know, 2-0, it might have been difficult for Dundee United for Rangers to come back. Yeah,
this is the best angle here. The ball's actually come off Daly's knee at this point. The referee's right behind the United player, but at that point of contact the ball's away from him, and it was certainly a penalty.
It could have been a very different outcome, Jerry.
Well, it was 1-0 at that stage. That could have finished it off, but we've said so often about Rangers this season, they keep fighting to the final whistle, and they did that yesterday. You
spoke to Gordon Durie after the game, Jerry. What about his 2 goals?
Well, the first one was a superb goal. Mark Hateley must take a lot of credit for this yesterday. Remember Mark Hateley providing that great cross at Ellen Road for Ali McCoist on the far side of the pitch. Well, there he is again, turning. A real quality cross, and it's an excellent header from Durie as well. But Gordon Durie just didn't score 2 goals yesterday. He worked extremely hard. He was down the left, he was through the middle, he was out the right-hand side, and he really deserved what he got.
Yeah, the goal looks better watching it there than it did yesterday, and it was Mark Hateley one of the better crosses of the ball that I've watched. But that one again, Mark Hateley knows exactly what he's doing there. And when the ball comes across, there's McCoist making a run to the near post, but Hateley knows exactly what he's doing. He picks out Durie at the back post with a clever header, and then, well, no problem for Gordon Durie here.
Here he is again. I mean, 30 goals he scored this season. The outstanding player of the year, and providing everything. Ali McCoist there coming close.
Well,
but,
he's a player that's terrific when he gets into wide areas at getting balls in. Very effective.
What do you think about the cup final now, Gordon? I mean, would United learn anything from yesterday, do you feel?
I don't think so. I think they both know one another well enough. We're playing against one another 4 times this season. But certainly Dundee United are a side capable of giving Rangers plenty of problems. Obviously Rangers will start favourite, but of course they were missing Billy McKinlay yesterday and Craig Brewster, 2 players that have scored the bulk of their goals this season.
And that's significant, Jerry, isn't it?
It is, but United, yes, hitting a good seam of form at the right time. I think they will give Rangers a real run for their money. I think I had a bit of a premonition in January that even Golats would be waving the Scottish Cup. I think, yes, they're capable of doing it. He must take a lot of credit for the way United have come on this season. But Rangers have had just 6 defeats in 51 games, and they're well in course for the treble. I think it'll be a great final.